The Mavericks head to Brooklyn tonight looking for 2 in a row in a season series sweep against the Nets. We'll get you ready for tonight's game coming up next on the DLLS Mavs pregame show. It's the DLLS Mavs pregame show live in our downtown Dallas DLLS Sports Studios. Kevin Gray alongside our DLLS Mavs beat writer Ron Harrod Jr. and our DLLS Mavs analyst Bobby Corella. We are DLLS Mavs, your favorite guys, coming your favorite team, even when they're looking for their second straight win as they take on the Brooklyn Nets tonight in New York City. We'll get you ready for tonight's game over the course of the next half hour. We'll let you know who's in, who's out, what to look for in tonight's game as the Mavericks look to end their 6-game road trip with a second win in a row on this terrific Tuesday evening. Ron Harrod Jr., what's going on?
Pretty good. My glasses got a little foggy, and as a blind person, that is very key. I'm trying to get myself situated, but I'm making it, everybody. I'm here for you.
You all right? All right. Bobby, what's going on?
Well, 2 things are happening. One, I've tried to say hi, everyone. Oh, there it is, finally. In the chat twice, and it finally showed up, so I apologize for not getting that early pre-show greeting. Secondly, I kind of understand what the Mavs are going through today.
Oh.
Okay. The Mavs flew into Brooklyn. Well, usually they fly into Newark, I believe, but whatever. Today, this afternoon.
Early this afternoon.
Normally they get to where they're going the day before. So they're going to be they're going to be performing tonight on short rest. I, similarly, waltzed into the studio about 10 minutes before we started going live because I thought that tonight's game was at 7, meaning the pregame was at 6:30. It turns out that the game is at 6:30.
The game is at 6:30.
Yeah.
Which I thought you would be pretty excited about. It's early game.
Well,
Same.
I am now.
Shout out to Luke Byrne in the chat. He has made his way from Australia to Dallas.
Let's go.
Looking forward to seeing you over the next couple of days.
Beautiful weather this week.
It has
Beautiful
been.
weather.
Yes. It'll be very, very nice weather this week. So hopefully you enjoy your time in Dallas, and hopefully we'll have a chance to catch up with you when the Mavericks take on the Kings and the Grizzlies on Thursday and Friday on a back-to-back.
Yeah, it won't be much basketball happening in that Kings game, will it?
Well, there will be basketball. If it's good or not, that remains to be seen. We'll find out. Shout out to our girl Sarah in the chat, $1.99 super chat. Hi, boys. Happy Tank Tuesday.
Tank Tuesday.
It is Tank Tuesday for sure, as the Mavericks continue their Tankathon Bowl series tonight. They're 1-0 in the series after beating the Indiana Pacers on Sunday, 134-130. They take on the Brooklyn Nets tonight, looking for a season series sweep against the Nets. And then that bowl series will continue on Thursday and Friday on the first night of a back-to-back when they take on the Sacramento Kings and what's left of them and their roster, and the Memphis Grizzlies on Friday at the American Airlines Center in what Bobby Corella has coined the most consequential week of the Dallas Mavericks 25-26 season.
That's absolutely right.
Already off to a 1-0 start, or a bad start for some, depending on how you feel about where the Mavericks are these days. Let's get you ready for tonight's game as the Mavericks come in looking for their second win in a row and looking to end their 6-game road trip on a bit of a high note. They take on a Brooklyn Nets team that's not very good. They're 15-41 on the season, a team that's 8-19 so far at Barclays Center. Of course, the Mavericks improved, quote-unquote, to 20-36 on Sunday with their win over the Pacers and what is now a 6-19 record away from the American Airlines Center. Mavericks a 1.5-point favorite with the over-under tonight at 226.5. Of course, the Mavericks 12th in the Western Conference, 6.5 games behind the Portland Trail Blazers for the 10th seed and final play-in spot in the West. 1-9 now in their last 10 games after their win on Sunday over the Pacers, 134-130. A team in Dallas that's 1-4 on their current 6-game road trip, looking to get their second win tonight and a team that's 9-10 against the Eastern Conference so far this year, and 11-13 against teams below 500. As I mentioned, they'll be back home on Thursday when they take on the Sacramento Kings. Meanwhile, the Brooklyn Nets, this is a team 14th in the Eastern Conference. They're only one game ahead of the Indiana Pacers, who sit dead last, of course, in the Eastern Conference. And the Nets have lost 4 straight games themselves, so not playing very well coming into tonight's game. With their latest loss coming on Sunday to the Atlanta Hawks at what was a 115-104 loss. They're 3-7 in their last 10 games overall after finishing up their road trip. What was 0-3. They're 4-17 so far against the Western Conference and 10-14 against teams below 500. They begin a quick 2-game homestand tonight against the Mavericks that will continue and finish up on Thursday when they welcome in the streaking San Antonio Spurs, who have won 9 straight games, and closing in on the Oklahoma City Thunder at the top of the Western Conference. That gets us to the Carell Illustrator scouting report and what he's looking for in tonight's game.
Yeah, so tonight's tank education is about, I think, everyone's least favorite kind of tank, or maybe your favorite kind of tank, depending on where you live. Septic tanks.
Oh, wow, septic tanks. Oh, jeez.
Now, septic tanks are used sparingly in densely populated areas, I think for obvious reasons. But they have some chemical drawbacks.
Okay.
Such as?
So we're going to do some chemistry.
All right.
So some constituent, this is all from Science Journal, Wikipedia.org. Some constituents of wastewater, especially sulfates, under the anaerobic conditions of septic tanks. Obviously, anaerobic means that there's not air flowing through that thing. It is contained.
Okay, chemistry.
Some of those sulfates are reduced to hydrogen sulfide, which is a pungent and toxic gas, which smells bad and infects things around it.
Yeah.
Just like a lot of the teams in the NBA right now. Meanwhile, nitrates and organic nitrogen compounds can be reduced to ammonia because the anaerobic conditions, fermentation and methanogenesis processes take place, which may generate carbon dioxide and or methane. Of course, carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas. Methane is 25 times more damaging to the global warming potential than carbon dioxide is, which means septic tanks are giant greenhouse gas emitters in addition to storing up all of your gas that you have put inside of it. And so very dangerous, and they're not really that helpful. It's like slapping a Band-Aid on a deep wound. Septic tanks don't actually help all that much. In fact, they do harm. I think that we can agree that tanking sometimes as a short-term fix can feel good in the moment, but if a lot of people are using it and if nothing is done about it, then it can infect everything around it, a la the toxic traits of some of these gases and some of these chemical reactions that are happening inside of your septic tank. So make sure you clean that thing out. Make sure you don't release that into the atmosphere. Just use plumbing, man. Just use plumbing.
I'm sure Adam Silver would echo those sentiments that you've laid out with that.
I agree.
Really good analogy there.
I agree.
Yeah, there'll be a very fun, I think, article in our alldls.com by our Tim Cato, I think tomorrow.
I'm contributing to
on
that.
tanking.
Oh, let's go.
Oh, you contribute it?
Yeah. No, I'm going to.
Oh, going to.
Tim asked me to do that.
Okay, yeah. So I contribute it. So I think that should be fun. I like reading those. I like seeing what all the other beat writers have to say. It's very fun to read for me. I think it'd be very fun to read for you. So Bobby literally talking about
that's
crap.
right, yeah. Bobby literally talking about crap.
But that was like there's like a funny, I think somebody posted the meme. It was like I think with the Cowboys posted, it was like I tackle, and then it was like my LinkedIn version of I tackle, and it was like this real big breakdown of I tackle. That's what Bobby did for tanking. It's like the word tanking, and then Bobby breaks it down, or like crap, and then Bobby breaks it down, and it's very eloquent.
It's a very good explanation. Yeah,
I know. It's like
because think of the downstream effects of tanking on the league. We have games like this. We have weeks like this. It's
who in the league?
Yeah, come
Stinky.
on, PU.
And now you got teams getting fined 500 and 100 large for.
Did y'all ever, championship games brings up stink bombs? Did y'all ever use one of those? I've been around.
Someone did that in class.
Yeah,
and that was
smells bad.
Teacher was so mad about that.
I bet.
I mean,
you can't be in there, to my knowledge. Like,
it's
we the
literally
leave the
dangerous.
classroom.
Yeah.
Like,
He's in big time trouble. Someone did that at my
Yeah.
school, and they got like charged with like crime or something.
Oh,
wait,
wow.
what?
Maybe
Wow.
not a crime, but they like got sent to like alternative school or whatever.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
man.
That was the
Man.
last
It was-
straw for.
Get your ass out of
The
here.
whole-
That was the
go
last
ahead.
straw for Timbo.
I'm pretty sure I've been
Wow.
in like a bar, or like a club, or some like.
Oh,
I was
no.
at, or maybe like an outdoor event or something. I was somewhere where someone set one of those off with a lot of people.
In a club,
Yeah.
you actually legit might go to jail if you do that. I think in like a public place.
Oh, wow.
Because like, okay, you're in Chipotle, you set that off. Like they're losing business now. Like you,
I mean, yeah.
Well, I mean, you could sustain injury,
yeah,
yeah,
that,
bodily
like,
harm in a place that crowded. It's already tough to breathe.
and if the food gets just again, not good.
Not good at all. No,
And that's what this game would look like, a bomb of stinkiness spread into an enclosed arena.
Methane
and
Porter
no one
Jr.
can run. Michael Porter Jr. can't run. Cooper Flagg, who's not even playing in the game, he can't even run. He actually has to sit there.
Like I
and
know
not
where to
even
go. They're
fight
surrounded
back
by
against
snow.
that. Yeah, oh, man.
Well, have you seen some of the images from New York? Doesn't look like it snowed at all there. They did a pretty good job of getting rid of the snow just in time for the
Kudos
Mavericks.
to their municipal system.
That's
for
right. They were
taking care
set
of
up
that.
and prepared for that. Just in time for both the Nets and the Mavericks to arrive in Brooklyn earlier this afternoon. That's right. Both teams got stuck in Indiana and Atlanta, respectively, before getting to Brooklyn today in order to play tonight's game at 6:30 p.m. Central Time, 7:30 Eastern in Brooklyn, where the Tankathon Bowl series continues for your Dallas Mavericks. On Sunday, they got their first win. Check this out. In literally a month, they hadn't won a game since January 22nd when they beat the Golden State Warriors, reeling off the loss of Jimmy Butler. And it had been even longer before they had won a road game. Their last road win came on Martin Luther King Day against the New York Knicks. That's how long it had been since the Mavericks had won a game on the road and won a game, period. And they took care of all of that on Sunday when they beat the Indiana Pacers, a team that's 1-4 on their current 6-game road trip. Looks to end it on a decent high note tonight, but at the same time, a team that's going to be shorthanded once again. No Cooper Flagg tonight as he continues to miss time with the left mid-foot sprain. So guys like Khris Middleton, Najee Marshall, and others will have to go at it without Cooper Flagg once again. The question will be, which team's going to have the most energy tonight? Because both teams literally coming off the tarmac, stepping in the Barclays Center tonight to play a basketball game. Bobby, as someone who's worked for an NBA team, you've seen a lot throughout your time. How difficult is it for two teams to get off the plane the same day to try to attempt to play an NBA game?
It is tough, but, big but. No, Sir Mix-a-Lot.
I cannot lie.
Teams used to do this all the time in the 80s. I mean, the Mavs, if you had a back-to-back in the 80s, you were not flying private. You were flying commercial. And so, it is going to be weird for, athletes are by nature creatures of habit, right? You have routines, you have things that you want to do to make your body perform at its most capable, most potent level. You want to eat certain things at certain times. You want to get certain amount of sleep at certain times. And so, being on a flight, even if it's only for an hour, you're still on a bus to the airport. You're on a bus from the airport. You're in a different environment. Whenever you fly at altitude, you become dehydrated very easily, and obviously that affects physical performance later in the day, as well as just general fatigue. So there are a lot of factors to take into consideration. But, man, I mean, Rolando Blackman, Mark Aguirre, those guys were doing it back in the day.
Yeah.
Dropping 40.
Whenever Wilt was playing, they were taking trains to games a lot of the time. I mean, like they would play 4 games in 5 nights. They would play 3 games 3 days in a row, like all the time. So, it will be interesting to see. I obviously have sympathy for these guys because it's a lot to ask. Usually, if I take a plane ride, don't bother me. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
I'm exhausted.
We know.
Yeah,
We've traveled with you.
I'm exhausted.
We know.
Yeah, it's tough now to get off the
Then he
plane.
ends up at the blackjack table.
That's right.
Yeah.
At the wee
Yeah,
hours of the
that's
morning.
double
That's
time.
right.
That's
Go
before
gamble.
the flight, not after. But yeah, it's going to be tough. But I think the real issue at play, like Jerry in the chat said, Boozer looks really, really good. AJ DeMonsa looks really good, and Brown and Flemings, and obviously Peterson. And I mean, there's a lot. Mavs fans are keeping one eye on the team and one eye on the NCAA right now, and so that to me is the story of the game. Is both of these teams are just very, very happy with, I think, the bad outcome.
Yeah.
And for the Nets, they get to outright keep their pick just like the Mavericks do. So they really don't have any incentive to win games because they do get to keep their pick outright for the 26 NBA draft.
Good thing for them, it's a guard-heavy draft because they don't have enough guards.
Yeah.
Correct. Correct.
It's another one.
They would probably love to get into the top 2 or 3 to
they
get.
need to
Yeah,
get
to go get a
'Cause after
Boozer.
that,
That's
a
a
whole
Nate
bunch of
Ahmed
guards.
thing.
Exactly.
They fall
Like
for
a Boozer
sure.
or the Bands of falling to the Brooklyn Nets is something I'm sure they would not mind at all. I will say this is the earliest I've been able to lock in on college basketball in several years. Like I've made it a point to sit there and watch Kansas and Houston last night with Kingston Flims and Darren Peterson playing.
Same.
And did the same over the weekend watching Michigan and Duke play where Boozer was unbelievable in the last couple minutes in that game to help them ascend to the number 1 spot in the country. So locked in on not only the NBA but college basketball as we get ready to turn the calendar from February to March because the NCAA tournament is right around the corner and we are getting that much closer to the end of the regular season in the NBA. The Mavericks and the Nets playing their final regular season meeting tonight as the Mavericks have won the first 2 games of their season series, both in Dallas. The last time these 2 teams got together was back on January 12th, where Cooper Flagg had 27 points in a win in what was a 113-105 result, as Michael Porter Jr. had 28 points in the losing effort. We'll let you know who's in, who's out in just a moment. But before we get to when it comes to prize picks.
That's right, Khris Middleton. You did cost the Mavs a win the other night, or I guess you cost them a loss. I don't know. He led them.
He led them
he
to
led
a
them
result.
to a
Led
win.
them to a loss.
He led them to a result. Yes.
Yeah. So my pick of the night though, Khris Middleton more than 9.5 points. Okay.
Okay.
Max Christie more than 11.5 points. He's had a couple good games in a row. He's kind of bouncing back. And then Nolan Traore more than 3.5 assists. It's not the most ambitious pick.
That's okay.
Ever, okay. But my $5 lineup would pay me $9.50. A nice way to just sort of wash away the pain of the other night with Tyus Jones getting benched for no reason.
Yeah, that
Cost me
was
75 buckaroos on my protected $20 pick by just 1 or really 0.6 assists. If you want to play along, download Prize Picks. Use promo code DLLS when making your first $5 lineup in your account. Be gifted $50 to use on lineups anytime you like, just like me on Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
The starting lineup for you Mavericks is out tonight. It will be, shout out to the wife who's just made her way into the studio. Shout out to the wife who's picked up the kid on the way.
Woohoo!
You want to come on camera, babe?
You got any takes about, I don't know, who are some of the players?
She doesn't. What's our favorite joke? Sport ball. She doesn't like sport ball. Yeah, I
Ah,
bring up
okay.
anything that has to do
No,
with this job.
respect.
What if we
Respect.
talk about Clay and Megan?
I know if you want to talk about your Clay and Megan experience, you want to talk about that. It's you gotta say it to the mic. Never mind. She don't want to say it to the mic. It's fine. Shout out to the wife, man.
Have a great night. You sure you don't want to stay for Mavs Nets?
No,
See TV.
my kid was my kid already let me know before the show. So it's like, Daddy, I'm hungry. Okay, your mom is coming to get you. Your mom is coming to get you from work. Don't worry about it. You
once that hunger starts, man.
Right. Yeah. Once a 9-year-old gets hungry, yeah, man, it's
Once a 34-year-old gets hungry.
Yeah.
touche for sure. Let's let you know who's in and who's out tonight for the Brooklyn Nets.
What?
That's right. It's a clean injury report.
Yeah, it was all G League stuff.
just a bunch of G Leaguers. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So the Brooklyn Nets do have
Ben
everyone.
Saroff is out, isn't he?
Huh?
G League assignment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All their guys.
Bobby knows Saraf.
Yeah. G League assignment. So he's
Wow.
not playing. Meanwhile, the Dallas Mavericks. Here we go. Musa Cisse and Ryan Himart both. Bobby, are you getting upset that they keep seeing these guys out games? Because Musa Cisse and Ryan Himart not
Got to
playing.
play him at some point. What are we doing?
They're not playing tonight.
I think they're playing like the last 8 games.
They're
of the
about to
year.
stay for the last 8 games.
Now is the time to be playing them.
I think they're literally going to play the last like 8 to 6 games.
Miles Kelly, AJ Johnson, Ryan Nimhard, Musa Cisse, Caleb Martin. That should be your starting 5 for these games.
Caleb Martin's the 5. Oh, okay. Moose the 5.
Wow.
That should be your starting
Caleb
5.
Martin's the 4. Yeah.
They keep running Daniel Gafford out there. He's starting again tonight.
I know.
Which is
Start
insanity.
Cisse, go with Cisse and Dwight, and just see if you can lose. Like that's what they should be doing. But I'm not going to spend my emotional dollars on things I cannot control. Kevin.
Oh, wow.
I see what you're doing there. Look at
Okay.
that. Enlightenment. Look at you.
Yeah, if they go 4-0, I'm going to be emotionally bankrupt. So,
Yeah.
Yes, Cooper Flagg is missing his his 4th straight game. 4th straight game with the left
Fourth,
midfoot sprain, so he's out tonight. But yes, Daniel Gafford is not only available, he is in the starting lineup for the Dallas Mavericks. Caleb Martin is also available tonight as well. So there you go. I don't know, man. Like
smacks leg.
because look, Middleton was. I kept thinking about the game on Sunday. And the fact that Khris Middleton was not only playing closing minutes, but he was giving Game 7 like championship. We gotta win this game type vibe, taking charges.
That was
in the last couple minutes of the game, like getting crucial
great,
buckets. Man. He was great. Yeah,
he played great.
I saw like 4 reels of like NBA people saying, "Man, I just love watching Khris Middleton play." And I'm like, wow, it's gotten to the
he's an ethical hooper.
I think
like,
if you love like basketball, you love
throwback
footwork
style
and
player,
mini and the 3-ball and the charges. He's like, if you love basketball, you love a Khris Middleton.
He's a throwback. That is a professional scorer, man. That's
a
professional scorer, and a lot of teams could use him. I mean, next year's Mavs can use him. It's just this year's Mavs cannot use him. Like this year's Mavs.
Nembhard is small forward.
That is yet another drawback of tanking. Because could you imagine if the Mavs are making a playoff push right now and AD was going to be out for 2 months, they were like, look, man, we got to trade him because we want to just make the play. Like they did last year with Luka, And then the Mavs get Khris Middleton, and it's like the second coming of Spencer Dinwiddie from 2022. Whenever the Mavs got Dinwiddie to add to Luka and Brunson, and it was like, oh my God, can you believe what they found? This guy was a cast-off, and now he's like scoring 30 on the road in Game 7.
Yeah.
Like that's what Middleton could be for a team that's good, but instead, my Khris Middleton experience is tainted by this need for losses.
Yeah, because he was really good on Sunday. He had 25 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. In fact, the first time he's had a 25-5-5 game since March of 2023 when he went off for 34, 8-5 against the Detroit Pistons.
Do we all remember where we were in March 2023?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which day?
Let's just go general March 2023. Where were we as people?
Where were we as a people?
Yeah, I mean,
where was I?
I was probably like 1,000 feet down the road or like 2,000 feet across the highway.
Yeah, I think I was in San Antonio. Yeah.
March of 2023.
Yeah, I was in San Antonio.
I think I was on vacation. I think I was on a cruise or something. Something like that. I don't know.
So that's how long
actually,
ago that was.
That's not true. March of 23?
Posting on a different Twitter account back then. My original Twitter account.
Oh, yeah. Was it the same name?
Oh,
yep. It was at Bobby Corella. Yeah.
I might have been on the radio somewhere. Look, March and April 2023 got real interesting because, I mean, Bobby, you know this better than anyone sitting up here. As we got deeper into the season, questions started to rise. Well, are the Mavericks going to tank to try to save their pick that they got in order to try and keep it?
Yes.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Because they had to keep that pick in order to stay in the top 12 to take what was and what became Derek Lively II. And the Mavericks got fined. That game against Chicago, where, I mean, they smoked that game.
Who would have gotten the pick? Who was it? If the
New York
Knicks.
Was that from the KP?
The
trade?
KP trade.
Oh,
that was the last pick to convey in the trade.
That's another reason why they needed to keep that pick, because the Knicks would have gotten like the 11th pick and Jalen Brunson.
That's right.
From the Mavs in the last 12 months.
Oh yeah,
that would have been a tough pill to swallow.
Bad posturing.
Letting Jalen walk for free and then giving a top 11 pick to the New York Knicks.
Being like, you know what? We don't want to negotiate a sign and trade because we're mad at you. We're mad.
Wait. So they got like nothing for Brunson. Like he's
literally
signed a pure free agent.
Nothing.
Zero.
They didn't even get cap space because they were already over the cap.
They
got diddly squat.
You remember when Cuban
Who was the GM of that team?
Was
it Nico Harrison still the GM then?
Yeah, Nico was, but at the time that it happened, there were questions as to who was actually running the team. But yes, Nico Harrison was the GM.
I wonder who the other guy could have been.
Well, he posted a lot of tweets and gave a lot of interviews about how mad he was about Jalen Brunson's dad. So you can just Google it.
He even gave an interview to our very own Mark Stein at the end of what was when they lost to the Warriors.
Yep.
I think I'm putting it together.
Tanner, you know this. When Mark Stein was talking to Mark Cuban, and Mark Cuban got on a microphone loud and proud and said, we could pay Jalen Brunson more than anybody.
Did they?
Well,
nope.
Didn't even get close to
what
that
was
offer.
it? They could offer him at the time was 5 for $175, I believe it was. If they had,
I think that's high.
at the I think that was the max that they could offer him. I think it was like 5
He
for
signed for
175.
like
I don't know.
4 for like 100 though, or something.
It was like for over $25 million a season.
I don't think it was 5 for 175. I think it was 5 for 125, maybe.
Yeah, I think he signed 4
Or 5
for
for
100,
130.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, he
Or
took
maybe 4 for 130. I don't know. It was weird because the second round deal. I don't know.
Yeah.
but it was a decent amount.
Shaq
of
can
money.
let us know.
But they did not offer him the max that they could have given him.
No, in fact,
We're just proving to not be the
apparently
right
they
choice.
didn't offer him anything at
They
all.
never got a chance to talk to him about
Like,
it.
did he want to stay and be like? Because he gets to handle the ball way more now. Like
He'd offer
yeah, he
130
wanna
mil.
be Luka's
My
side-
theory
sidekick.
is that he wanted to go be the Luka instead
Yeah.
of be the sidekick to
That's what it
Luka.
seems like.
And also, the Knicks gave his dad a lot of money. He's the highest paid assistant coach in the
Yeah.
NBA.
Yeah,
respect.
Which is kind of weird because he didn't really.
What's Brunson's contract?
He's not. the
But,
most
like, you at least have
successful
to-
I mean,
coach.
Brunson
At least
took a
offer
pay
him
cut
that
to go
money.
there.
Oh, weird, interesting.
Like he took a pay cut to go there, but
Well,
I mean,
yeah,
he's-
but
he's
also
a-
dad's
like
getting
you know,
paid, baby.
His dad is getting paid a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's weird because his dad is also his business manager somehow.
Yeah,
and then also Jalen's agent is the son of the guy that
That's right.
runs the Knicks.
Leon
Yeah.
Rose. That's
So
right.
And
I'm
all his
sure
friends
I'm
got
sure
paid,
there's
too.
just no money. Like
There's nothing under the
there's
table
nothing
happening
weird
here.
going on. There's no like agent fees. There's nothing going on that's
Jalen
weird.
planting trees somewhere right now.
Oh, no.
Maybe.
So his dad
Somebody-
got paid. Agent is getting paid, clearly.
I mean, look,
his
the-
best friend got paid.
the
Actually,
circle-
multiple of his best friends got
The
paid.
circle between Rick, Jalen, Leon Rose, and his son, like it was going. He was going to go to New York. It was just a matter of how it was going to
But
go
it has
down.
to get
At
something.
least it's off from the deal, though.
Yeah, but you got to get something out of it. Do a sign
Yeah,
and
you
trade.
had to do something.
Get a
Yeah.
trade
That's the
exception
problem.
and some twos. Just do literally
Anything.
Yeah.
Don't do
Yes.
nothing out of spite. Now there were Mavs fans that were like, "You could have at least gotten Evan Fournier out of it."
Oh,
and even
yikes.
at the time, I was like, "Trust me, you don't want that."
You didn't
It is
want-
Here's
No.
pulling a plate. Take it or
I mean,
leave it.
The
Like-
thought was that he was going into an expiring contract. You could then trade that for a
Oh,
different
for
person. So it's
sure,
like
yeah.
a trade chip, but
You
it's
can
like,
shoot.
dude,
Yeah.
it's not. He's not going to play, and he's not that good, and
No.
everything. But getting a protected first rounder out of it would have been pretty nice.
Like
Or
them literally getting nothing.
because the issue is to clear up the Knicks just signed Jalen with cap space,
That's
and
right.
to clear up that money, they just salary dumped a bunch of guys to the Pistons.
That's right.
And gave the Pistons a bunch of picks.
They did.
They
Which
could
the
have
Mavs
given
should have
all of those
received.
picks to the
Yes.
Mavs instead.
Did that happen on draft night? That happened on draft night.
And in the days leading up
Yeah,
to it.
in the
They
days
traded,
leading
like,
up to it,
Nerlens.
yeah.
I think they traded a first rounder to Detroit and then like a bunch of twos or something. It was like they made 2 or 3 separate trades.
It was so
to
obvious
clear
what
up
they
this
were
money,
doing.
and it's like, oh my god, like they could have just given that all to the Mavs. Now,
Bang.
granted, again, none of the contracts, belonged to players that were good. You could have then traded them, but again, the picks, it would have been very nice to have some picks. Would have been
Yeah.
really nice.
Oh, Pistons got Jalen Duren with that?
Is that
Jalen
true?
Duren with that.
No
yeah.
way,
Is that
for
true?
real?
I think so. One of the picks, like you
I
said,
actually
was a
have
first
no
round
idea
pick.
where Duren went
Don't
in the
make me
draft.
sad on the internet right now. Hang on.
I think that's correct. That the Pistons got
Duren would have been so
Jalen
fun
Duren
with
was
Luka
one of those
Doncic.
picks.
doing
Yeah.
some research. I'm doing some research. Show transactions.
Duren is
But
such
yes,
a
Ronald,
player.
that's where we are in the season.
Yes.
Yes. That's
Trade-
where we are. We're rehashing.
Okay, so
I've learned
on-
history.
On June 23rd, he was on draft night. He was traded to the Knicks, and then he
Duren?
was traded by the Knicks with Kemba Walker to the Detroit Pistons for a 2025 first round draft pick. At the time, deep in the future, and a trade exception. So the Mavs could have gotten Kemba Walker and Jalen Duren for Jalen Brunson.
yeah, man. Yeah. Jalen
Yikes.
Duren.
Now,
So then,
they
so
still
then
ended up getting Kemba Walker that season.
It's still Kemba Walker. Yes, they did. They did.
But they didn't come away with Jalen Duren.
I'm going to go on the record and say they probably would have wanted Duren.
Now,
I mean, you could
had
honestly,
they
you could
gotten
say
Duren,
that
they
that's-
wouldn't have needed to draft Derek Lively, so they could have used that top 10 pick on someone like Kaysen Wallace.
Oh,
Kyrie, Kaysen, Luka,
The
Jalen
iceberg
Duren.
is going deeper
Right?
and deeper.
That team could have
Right
beaten
now,
the
we're like,
Celtics.
we're like
It
20
could
to
have beaten the
50
Celtics.
feet underwater right now.
Golly, man.
It goes so much lower than this, believe it or not.
Luka, Kaysen Wallace, Jalen Duren.
Just bullies,
Now,
bullies.
Tim Cato contends, and I believe he said this on the show, he's not sure that if the Mavs would have kept Jalen Brunson, they might have traded him for Kyrie that following season anyway. So that could have been an even tougher pill to swallow, I think, because like by then Jalen would have asserted himself, but maybe he doesn't become who he is in New York. I don't know.
Good
But
question.
there's no guarantee that he would have stuck around with the Mavs. But again, this is another reason. If you're going to lose a player, you got to get back as much as you
Something.
possibly can. The Mavs did not learn that lesson with Jalen. They didn't learn that lesson with Luka. Let's see if they learn that lesson with AD. But it's just you got to maximize everything all the time.
If they traded Jalen for Kyrie, I wonder what they could have kept, though, that they ended up having.
picks,
Yeah, maybe just Jalen for Kyrie. They would have just had they would have
Interesting.
needed to give up their 2029 first rounder. Which
Finney-
means they'd have
or
an extra
Finney
first
Smith.
rounder to offer right now for Giannis.
Oh,
Or
my
for
God.
whoever. But like it's all of this stuff, man. You never know
You
when the
just
bill
never
is,
know, man.
You never know when the bill is going to come due. You never know when the bill is going to come due. And to bring it back to the Nets, the pick that the Knicks got in exchange for Kemba Walker and that Jalen Duren selection was a pick that they later traded to the Nets in the Mikal Bridges deal that became Nolan Traore, who we're going to see tonight, and I hope he gets more than 3.5 assists.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is your DLLS Mavs pregame show.
Again. All right.
What a way to put a bow
What
on
a
that.
deep show.
That was incredible work. Absolutely incredible work.
Wow, that was
Massive.
yeah.
That's why he's the HOC. That's why he's the HOC.
Shout out Basketball Reference for all of that information.
We'll be back here for our post-game show. Our National NBA insider Mark Stein will be joining us live in studio. Could Khris Middleton be a buyout candidate for the Mavericks?
Detroit.
We'll discuss that with our
They
guy
could use
Mark
him
Stein.
so badly.
They
man.
could use him. We'll talk about that with our guy Mark Stein on the post-game show. Appreciate our Tanner making us look good and sound good as always. Thank you,
That's
sir.
all, folks.
That is all, folks. That's our DLS Mavs analyst, Bobby Carell. That's our DLS Mavs beat writer, Ron Haraj, Jr., and your man, Kevin Gray. We are DLS Mavs. We'll talk to you post-game right here on DLLS Sports. Y'all be good. Peace.
We all silly like the mayor.